Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is Sav Price, and today I'm doing a video on why I changed my major. So previously I was an English education major, meaning that I was majoring in English, but I would also graduate with a certificate to teach secondary education, meaning I would be able to teach grades 6 to 12. I wanted to be a teacher previously because I really want to make an impact. I don't want my life to be pointless and no one to basically not help anyone or to influence anyone. And I felt that teaching was an easy way to give my life a purpose, to impact at least one student's life, and that was really important to me at the time. I will say that teaching wasn't my only choice going into college. I really wanted to be a graphic designer because I wanted to have the opportunity to travel and to get to see new places and learn more about other cultures. That was my number one when I was a senior in high school. And I started looking into college programs and I started getting my estimates for those colleges, and they were insane, $50,000 a semester or $20,000 a semester, and it just was not very realistic for me. I didn't want to be in student debt. It was just not something that appealed to me. I don't think it appeals to anyone. I hope it doesn't. And I thought, I can get a degree for something similar and not have student debt. And so I did end up going to just a smaller state college. Therefore, they didn't have a graphic design program. And I knew I liked English. I knew I was good at writing, and I knew I could learn more about it, and I would be open to that. And so I decided, okay, well, we'll go English. And then I decided, well, I kind of wanted to be a teacher when I was younger, and that's what I want to do. So I did that. I started, going to a college for English education at the secondary level. And throughout my experiences there, I started student teaching, I took education courses, and I'll just be honest, I hated it. My first semester in student teaching, I was in a high school, a city high school, close to my college campus, and it was awful. I dreaded going, partly because it started at 7 in the morning, but also because it was just so boring. The kids just sat on Chromebooks, and I wasn't the teacher, but I was a student teacher, and because it was my first semester, I didn't really have any control over their lessons. So I just kind of got to sit back and help, with technology issues and that sort of thing, but nothing really that incredible. It was kind of an awful experience. But through that entire experience, I continued to tell myself, well, just don't worry about it. You will be in a middle school next semester and it will be better. That's what I thought, of course. But I started my semester in a middle school this semester, and I've only gone 2 days. And that's 4 hours a day, so that's 8 hours total, and I already know that I don't want to be a teacher. And you might think that's premature and that I should give it, more of a go. And the reason I'm even making this video is because I felt so alone in that idea. And I mean, you see teachers not complaining, but voicing their true experiences in the field of education currently, and it's awful experiences. And it's not the kids, it's the environment, it's the micromanagement, it's just the parent, and it's just like, and I didn't even start becoming a teacher. I was just there observing, and it was awful. Like, I cannot imagine having to wake up every single day and go there for 8 hours and not even get paid that well for it, unless you have higher education, which means you'll also have those student loans. So it didn't really make sense to me, and I was like, okay, but I should love this because this is, a good career, especially in my state, which is Georgia. They have really good teacher retirement. And so I was like, okay, well, like, I'm setting myself up for success, right, when I retire. But I never wanted to be that teacher who looks forward to retire, because then I feel like, you're just kind of wishing your life away at that point. Like, oh, I can't wait to retire. Then why don't you go to a career that you don't want to retire from? Which I know is highly unlikely, because everyone says that a job is a job, and you're not going to wake up every day and be excited to work. And I understand that. But it's like, at the same time, I don't know, I feel like this is just our only life. But I wanted to say that the reason that I even decided to change my major, because I had all those feelings that I was kind of forcing myself to get through it, because I was like, it'll get better when I get my own classroom and I can, control the environment and I can make it better, get better vibes here. And, I kept telling myself that, but then I would get in my car and just feel like just miserable, just literally just unhappy. And I would just cry and I'd be like, well, it's okay. When you get your own classroom, it'll be better. It'll be better. But I'm like, okay, but this is, I'm not even 20 yet, I'm 19. And it's just like, okay, but this is the only time I'm going to be 19 and I don't want to spend it crying every day as I leave from student teaching. I had to kind of reflect and think, okay, so what do I want to do if I don't want to teach? And I'll insert some of, teacher complaints here, and I'll link some articles below because I like, reading those sorts of things and seeing the reality of teaching today. And it's like, okay, well, I'm not too late. I'm not, behind. This is my chance. And I also want to note that even if, in my opinion, if you're like 30 years into the profession, which you could retire, say you're 20 years into the profession and you hate it, I think a lot of people kind of stick it out and say, okay, 10 years and I can retire. So you're miserable for those 10 years, but at the same time, that's 10 years of your life that you'll never get back. And so why not pursue a different career? Why not quit? I mean, just you're in control of your life. And one thing that made me change my major in the first place was what one professor told me this semester. It was actually last week, and it's an English class. It's literature for young adults, which is, I love it because I read young adult books for homework. Basically, she said, this is your story, this is your book, and you're the author, you're the protagonist, and you get to control what happens to you. You make a choice every day, and you're writing your book every day, every decision you make. Your character, that's, this is your life and you get to control it. And I was just thinking about that and I was like, yeah, like I get to control it and it's not going to be too late at any point in my life. If I go down this path and I do get my bachelor's in English, which is what I'm doing, I didn't even say that, sorry, then I can do a lot of things with that. One thing that I really want to do is, become an author, but we will see, highly unlikely, so we'll see. I'll link any stories that I have written below as well. Right now I have them posted on Wattpad, so, just if you want to, don't feel pressured. I've been working really hard on them, and I'm proud of them, and I think I can become a better writer. I know I can, and so that's why I really want to focus on that and better myself, and I enjoy that. Any career, even if you're not going to become a teacher, don't be afraid, it's all about your mindset and how you look at things, and you're in control of that. That's one of the things that you can control, is how are you going to react to the things that are happening around you. Are you just gonna, suck it up and say, okay, I'll wait till retirement? And that's okay too. I don't want to bash that, but like I don't want to encourage you to waste your life away waiting for retirement. When you get retired, who knows, you might fall and break your hip, and then you can't even do the things that you were pushing off until retirement. And so I just don't understand the mindset of not making things happen. And obviously, to make things happen, you have to have money, and therefore you have to have a job or some sort of income. So I understand that, I do, but it's like life is more than your job, first of all, and you're more than your worth at a company or at a school, and your job is what you use to pay for your lifestyle. Your job is not your life. That's just how I view it, at least. And so I feel like with teaching, it kind of takes over your life. And I'll also note, this is kind of going off tangent, but whatever, I'm just gonna add it in, that as a teacher candidate, it's what they called us at my college, I kind of felt this pressure to be a certain way, to act a certain way. I'm 19 as a teacher candidate. I was going to become a teacher when I was 20, and I wouldn't even be able to drink alcohol legally. And so it's like I was acting like this, I don't know, I just felt very not me. Like I would go to my closet every morning and think, okay, well, I have to dress appropriately, how would a teacher dress? And that was what guided my decisions. And even just now, I just feel so free to be able to think, I'm gonna wear what a 19-year-old wears and be comfortable and not think, well, what would a 30-year-old teacher wear? What would be acceptable? And obviously I'm not gonna go out, wearing a bikini to school. That's not even what I mean, but I'm just saying, I wouldn't wear like probably this sweater. Like I would feel like this sweater is like too young, too youthful, and I am young and I am youthful, so it's like, why would I not do that? Anyways, yeah, I just hope that someone out there relates to this and can understand, or just not feel alone, because I felt very, very alone. It's miserable. And that's not to shy anyone away. You know, if you're still teaching and you love it, then go you. You know, you're a better person than I am, and that's just, well, no, I take that back. You're not a better person than I am. You're just a different person than I am, and you just, you know, enjoy something that I don't, and that's valid. That's okay. We don't have to love the same things. So I would love to do a video on mindset sometime, and I don't know if anyone would even be interested in watching that, but I think that's something interesting that I might want to look back on later on, you know, at a future date. So yeah, I think that's all that I have for today's video. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, even though no one's even gonna watch this. But if you have any questions, you know, ask me. I would love to answer those questions for you, because this has been a really hard decision, and it was a very delayed decision. I mean, it's probably going to affect my financial aid, but you know, I'm telling myself, like, okay, but if it does, then I'll find a way to make it work, and this is what I want. I'm not going to spend a whole another semester doing something and working towards something that I don't even want to do, something that I'm more passionate about, instead of trying to force myself to be passionate about something that I no longer have a passion for. So that is basically all that I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to subscribe, no pressure. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Either way, I don't care. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.